recruiting and follow-up techniques for both customers and distributors. I'm Lindsey, Nicklason. I'm a presidential advocate from Unis, Minnesota. It's a tiny town of about 400 people, 3 hours from here. So I am so happy you're all here today. Darlene and I should be here together. So I just have something, I just feel like I need to be honest here. Okay, so we have a lot of good resources. We have a lot of good leaders here. We're going to get some really great information today. We've already had some awesome information, but everything that you need is not in a room full of people. It's not on your shirt. It's right in here, okay? And everyone has it. Everyone has it somewhere, but you just have to find that. So it's, you know, for some people it just takes longer, and you know, it's just different journeys for everyone. But that is my biggest thing. You have to find that inside of yourself before you want to inspire other people. So, okay, and I'm all weird with PowerPoints. Like, now I look at this and I'm like, I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. Like, Darlene.
Try to keep it with recruiting and follow up, but just go.
Darlene, when I walked in, we just introduced each other and ourselves, and we were talking to each other, and she said, so how did you do it? And I'm like, you know, how did we do it? You know,
we just talk to people.
We talk to people, right? It's really just old-fashioned talking to people.
Build relationships. Let's wrap repeat.
Yeah, let's wrap repeat. You know, and a lot of the things that Darlene and Caitlin said, I mean, I kind of resonate with. When I started this business, I didn't know if it was what I needed, but I knew I needed to change my life, and so I just got to work, and that's still my goal every day, to just go out and make connections with people and just try to be a blessing to other people. It might sound cheesy, but I wake up and I just ask God to put that on my heart. Just, how can I go out and help people today? Show me how.
That's how I usually wake up. Who can I help today? Who can I find that's looking for something else?
Yeah, and your day just goes so much better. Not every day is great, you know, but
there's some hard ones.
Yeah. I stay at home with our 3-year-old and 2-year-old, so and Stella, and so yeah, clearly every day is good. It's a good life. It's a great life. Okay, so recruiting tips. I keep everything super, super simple. Basically what I do is just give a personal comment at first, and then, like, you know, most people aren't going to be like, oh, I'd love to join your team the first time you message them. I mean, I message people like 10 times before they respond. I don't think of it so much as like going for the no. I'm kind of like, let's keep it positive, you know. But I tend to I think that people want this. I think that people want a positive change in their lives, and like Crystal was saying, I keep everything pretty positive too. You know, people are drawn to that kind of energy. So if you do that in all facets of your life, or you know, try your best, have your little freakouts. You know, I have a really bad temper, so I have those little freakouts too. But keeping that positive energy, you know, in every connection on Facebook, you know, on your social media, in person, that's huge, and that'll draw a lot of people in. Also, it's our passion. You know, it's our passion. We know all about this. People don't know about this. I mean, the market is so saturated still. So don't. I even think the people who tell me no. I mean, I have people who are distributors on my team who told me no for so long. I'm gaining people on my team who I talked to 18 months ago when I first signed.
I'm always surprised by the people who track me. I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and people are like, well, tell me about this rap thing. I'm like, we've been friends. I've talked to you about this thing. And they don't know. They don't know. Don't assume that your friends know what you're doing. You have to tell them. If you don't tell them, they don't know. So be really intentional with talking to people about raps. You just have to go out there and actually have conversations.
Yeah. And you know, when Darlene asked me this morning, I've been thinking about like, okay, how did I do it? How did I do it? And then I've been trying to recreate it in my head, like, I should do that again. You know? I should do it again right now.
And that excitement at the beginning is just like magic, right?
Yeah.
The nervous excitement, you're just so excited. Yeah. Use that. It's just
I love that.
Energy, yeah.
This is fun.
We should be newbies again, right? Should we all go back to being newbies, just that excitement? And I think the most raps I ever sold in the expo was when I didn't know anything. It's just like, we have raps. They're awesome. You should try one. That was it. And they did, because we were excited.
Yep. And you can do anything, but you can't do everything. Cammie Gansio said that. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. Okay, so don't. 5 minutes left. What? Wow.
Okay, we gotta go.
Follow-up tips, okay. I have like some in here from Marcy Webb, who's a triple diamond, and she lives in South Korea, but some for me. Okay, so basically, Marcy and I both do this. You know, have them watch the training videos right away, like the first day or two that they sign up. Get their launch party or train them over the phone how to do their launch party. Their first 4 loyals in their first 30 days. And then, you know, I tend to check in with them versus like putting it on them to check in with me the first 30 days.
I like to schedule a check-in.
Yeah.
Like, when are we going to talk next? Always, you know, what's next here? I'll call you this day. We're going to follow up. So get on your schedule to follow up with.
That's great.
And I do that with potentials as well. It's like when schedule the next contact. So when you're talking to somebody, be like, you know what? Do you have time on Monday? Do you have time here? Let's plan on. I'm going to call you. And I hate the phone. But I have learned to love the phone. I've embraced the phone. When you get on the phone with people or you get face to face with people and are having a real conversation rather than just like blasting a little message on Facebook, get that personal contact. It's going to make a big difference.
Big effective. And encouragement. I just try to encourage different people on my team every day, posting a face on their timeline or, you know, texting them or, you know, just trying to brighten their day and encourage them. Now, a couple things about approaching businesses. I think that's huge.
Approaching businesses. Why are we going into businesses? We're not going into sign them up as distributors. We're going into wrap people. That's what we do. We wrap people. So when you walk into a business, you're introducing the product to them. You're walking in the door, and you better have a blitz card with you. You're basically blitzing them. So there's lots of different places in businesses to start. I'm a chiropractor. And so there's some things that you should know before you walk into a chiropractor's office because they might ask you some crazy questions. Because some of us are nerds. Do you have any chiropractors, massage therapists, green personalities in the room? Can I get a show of hands? The greens they're back reading the comp plan. They're not going to listen to me. They're back reading the comp plan. So where to start when you're walking into businesses? Start with your hundreds list. People that you already know, get onto the eSuite and download that memory jogger and start writing out that hundreds list. That thing should be a living, breathing document. Mine changes all the time. I still have the same one. It's just, it keeps getting longer. I cross
Rewriting. Like, what should I do today?
Yep, memory jogger. Keep looking at that. And then there's also just door to door. I mean, you can literally go find a strip mall and walk in and blitz them. And when you're walking into that business, you know, you're not going to take up their time. They're busy people. We're talking about chiropractors, massage therapists, salons. They're busy. They don't want to take time out of their day. So when you walk in, I'm not here to take up your time. I'm introducing a new first-to-market product to this area, and I thought it was something you'd be interested in. Have you ever heard of that crazy wrap thing? And get a blitz card in their hand, even if it's the secretary at the front, because sometimes you got to get past those people to get to the doctor, right? They're like the bulldogs. They're like, you are not getting them. So you have to give them a reason to introduce that. You're going in there to schedule a wrap appointment. You're trying to wrap someone. You want to set out and do a meeting. And so our ultimate goal is get a wrap on someone and do that wrap pad presentation.
That's what I tell people with businesses. You know, people are like, how do I do this? How do I just business?
It's blitzing.
Just blitz it.
Yep, you're just blitzing. So get them that information. I always have my pictures with me. I've got a little mini brand book that's in my purse. I've got pictures on my phone, like digital. I can flip through those. And then I've got my big brand book, which has got all of the ingredient lists and the product things that you can download right from eSuite. So if I want to talk to a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a naturopath, I'm going to bring an ingredient list because they're ingredient nerds. They're going to ask you questions about that. So what do you do when you walk in and you don't know? Maybe some of you are brand new. You don't know the answer to those ingredient questions. What do? You say, I don't know. I'm new. But I do know somebody who does know. Get on the phone with your upline. Do a 3-way call. And use your tools. They have given us amazing tools. Get your catalog out. Get those printables out to show to them. Get them to the product coach. MyItWorksProductCoach.com has all of that stuff on there. So they're asking you about gluten-free, or they're asking you about dairy allergies. That stuff is on there. You know, get them to the tools that our company has given us so that they can use those.
You can't do everything. Don't try to store all that in your brain or you'll go crazy.
You will go crazy. You don't have to know everything. But somebody in the company does. So utilize your uplines. 3-way call is amazing. Leave them with that information. I bring with me wraps. I'll bring with me the party pad because that's if they have time to talk to you right then, go through that party pad presentation. It's quick, it's simple. You should be able to do it in about 10 minutes. Yeah, so if they have time, sit down and do that part of that presentation. Yeah, the tools never have a bad day. Sometimes we wake up, like, my hair's not right, I don't know if I want to go, but use the tools. They're solid, they know what they're doing. Just read through them. You can read and flip, you can run this business. Let's see, since we're not doing our slideshow, I'm kind of lost.
Are we done?
Um,
Oh, I see where that went. Well, our travel's so fast.
and one of the other things I do is I don't vomit. I try not to vomit information. I'm kind of a vomiter if you come to my parties. Sometimes it looks like a health seminar, right? Pam Sauer says don't do that, but we just ignore her. Don't vomit information on them. Ask them questions. What are they looking for? Have you tried it? Have you heard of it? Do you know somebody who's used it? Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that's looking to earn a little extra money? And sometimes it's like, well, I am. So that's an indirect way of asking that question. If you're like, do you want to earn some extra money? No. Do you know somebody who might be? Because that's a really easy everyone, right? So that's kind of an easy way to introduce it. Do you know somebody?
This morning I was walking around the hotel and I got a coffee, and this tall black guy named Leon was standing right by me. He was like, "What are you doing?" Oh, he was from Alabama. He was just standing there. I just talked about it. I was like, this is really interesting.
And wear your shirt.
I like your pants.
Yeah, I like your pants too. And wear your shirt because you know how many people say what works. What works.
Yeah.
I carry that blingy coffee mug. I've talked to more people, started more conversations with that blingy coffee mug. That's a cute coffee mug. I'm like, no, my company does awesome stuff. So get your bling out. Have it on with you in public. We have our lanyards with our Blitz card that says "Ask Me" on it. People will ask you. So track them down. What are we missing? What are we not talking about? Follow up. I had said a little bit about schedule the next contact. So when you're in their office, maybe they can't meet with you now, ask if you can schedule that next meeting. Tell them when you're contacting them next. Let them know you're going to be calling them back. Most people need to have up to 9 exposures of the product before they're willing to try it. Some people you walk up to and they're like, yeah, put one on, I'll take a wrap right now. But some people are a little more cautious like me. I was a hard sell, poor Pam. She called me a lot of times. And I became a loyal first, used the products and made sure I loved it first before I was even going to talk to my patients about it.
I didn't do that.
So yeah, if you're pushing them to be distributors before they're ready, sometimes that's the reason sometimes that's the reason they fail. They just weren't ready for it, and you push them to it. So
and that's like a lot of people we've talked to throughout our business,
right?
Years, and then just
and so sometimes they should be a loyal person and really fall in love before you get them into that. And that first 30 days goes by fast when you haven't even tried the product. So I've got 0 on the sheet. Did you do that?